you hear me okay? Okay, good. Here we are. It is Friday of this session. I can't believe how fast it went. And we just have one more day. I have had a very good time on this session. It has been very deep for me and soothing and letting a lot of things drop away. And that's always helpful. For me, it is. So I hope you all have been having, a good time, whether it's been hard or easy. It's all good, right? There's Zen saying, every day is a good day. Here's an excerpt from Wendy Johnson's book, Gardening at the Dragon's Gate, At Work in the Wild and Cultivated World. It's a beautiful book that she wrote. She, I think, is still the head gardener at the San Francisco Green Gulch Zen Center, right near Muir Woods and the ocean. It's a really, has anybody been there to Green Gulch? Raise your hands if so. Nobody has been there. Ooh, so, when you're in San Francisco, next time you should definitely go visit Green Gulch. Beautiful Zen Center. They've got a fabulous farm and garden. And of course, go see the San Francisco Zen Center because they have like amazing Buddhas in their Zen Center. Huge Buddhas, old Buddhas, just incredibly. It's like being in a museum there. When the Buddha first began to teach, a magical deity visited him in the night and asked this question. The inner tangle and the outer tangle. This generation is entangled in a tangle. So I ask you, who succeeds in untangling this tangle? The Buddha's answer was simple and direct. The one who sits down in the middle of his or her life and looks with attention, calm and resolute, has a chance to untangle the tangle and to relieve suffering. This does not mean, and this is Wendy saying, this does not mean that oversimplifying or setting up strict rules and regulations is the answer. Gardens are far stronger than any notions about them. They elude the richest vows and principles and bend away from all ideas. In the presence of the twining vines of our huge Chinese wisteria, which daily engulfs the once sturdy garden fence that surrounds my home, it would be a simplistic conceit to plot the untangling of this vast, fragrant being. Instead, I prefer to go into the tangle and to join the knot of entwined life. Let me say that again, that paragraph. Gardens are far stronger than any notions about them. They elude the richest vows and principles and bend away from all ideas. In the presence of the twining vines of our huge Chinese wisteria, which daily engulfs the once sturdy garden fence that surrounds my home, it would be a simplistic conceit to plot the untangling of this vast, fragrant being. Instead, I prefer to go into the tangle and to join the knot of entwined life. So for me, that means, you know, we don't have to fix everything. We can just join, get into the tangle, and join this knot of entwined life, because isn't that what we find ourselves in? This tangle of entwined life. And how we're kind of saying, how am I going to get out of this mess here? What am I going to do? I got to do something. And then the Buddha's answer, simple and direct. The one who sits down in the middle of his or her life and looks with attention, calm and resolute, has a chance to untangle the tangle and to relieve suffering. So, the question is, do you prefer to go into the tangle to join the knot of entwined life? Well, do we have any choice? I'm calling my talk today, Everything is Enlightenment, Part 2. Part 1 was on Wednesday. Part 2, and I am so grateful to Joan Sutherland for writing this beautiful article in the Buddha Dharma Winter 2020 issue. And I'm going to read again what I read last Wednesday to begin. There is mad discipline and insane persistence on this path, but they're in the service of something more fruitful than certainty, control, and will. They're in the service of availability. Just keep showing up. Sit the meditation, attend the retreat, absorb the teachings, face the fear, feel the sorrow, endure the boredom, explore the doubt, stay open to the disturbing and also the knee-buckling beautiful in your life. That being said, if resistance rises in you, sit with it until you can tell whether it's a habit of exile or a warning that something really isn't right. The path of awakening involves a lot of deconstruction of the self, which can be difficult, even shattering at times. But it should not involve harm. We awaken together, and the greatest gift we give to each other's awakening is to make a field where it is safe to take risks. So I see this container of our sesshin, I see our sangha as a place of safety where we can take risks. And they might be baby step risks, and that's fine. Yes, this discipline and persistence on this path, which is in the service of availability. All right, now what does that mean? Right, in the service of availability, okay? That means being available, right? What does that mean, being available? Being present, because when we're not present, we're not available. All in the service of availability. And availability is more fruitful than certainty, control, and will. Certainty, control, and will. Certainly we know about certainty and practicing not knowing, right? Letting go of our certainty about how things ought to be. Mad discipline and insane persistence on this path, which is in service of availability. That's the beauty of sesshin for me, is this discipline and following the schedule to be more available and present in our lives so that we can, yes, we can feel the uncomfortable, yes, and we can see the beautiful. They both go together. So Joan Sutherland continues, at the very heart of Buddhism is the promise of enlightenment. It's the bright flame illuminating the Dharma, and the rich variety of practices developed in the traditions that make up Buddhism are all in some essential way in the service of that praise. For millennia, in response to the struggles and sorrows of life on this planet, and in honor of the breathtaking beauty of life on this planet, people have passed this flame from hand to hand, encouraging one another to take part in the agonizingly slow but impossibly tender awakening of our world as a whole. I know that was a lot there, but basically, this promise of enlightenment so that we can see more clearly is like the promise here. Even, with Zazen, although, we say that we don't sit Zazen to become enlightened. We are enlightened, and that's why we sit Zazen. We're enlightened beings. And the complexities of our life cause us to forget. And Joan Sutherland is making the point that this forgetting feels like exile. And we make elaborate structures of habit, conviction, strategy to defend against this desolation. But we can always return home. And that is always right under our feet. So in Buddhist terms, the way things really are is enlightenment, and our experience of the way things really are is also enlightenment. It's the same. The way things really are is enlightenment, and the way we experience it is also enlightenment. Here's a poem by the Japanese poet Izumi Shikibu. Watching the moon at dawn, solitary, mid-sky, I knew myself completely, no part left out. Great ancestor Ma of China spurred his students on and said, for countless eons, not a single being has fallen out of the deep meditations of the universe. I'm reminded of Roshi's talk where he's talking about the universe breathing and seeing itself. And she says, no matter what happens, even in the times that feel like irredeemable exile, we and everything we encounter are the inhale and exhale of the universe's meditation. Each of us is all of us, and all of us are one vast thing. Wow, to think of ourselves as the inhale and the exhale of the universe's meditation. What? And another point she makes here, that awakening is something different from the projects of self-improvement and self-actualization that many Westerners are used to. It's not about being a better self, but about discovering our true self, which is another thing entirely. Yes, this self-improvement, I used to be really, in fact, I'm still a bit stuck on this self-improvement thing. I don't know about you, but I was really good at that. Oh my God, I used to read up all of these magazines and I would follow everything that they said about for health, for health. Joan says, awakening isn't something that can be obtained like the ultimate killer app. Neither can it be attained. So it can't be obtained or attained like a skill or an understanding to be harnessed to the purposes of the self. In some Buddhist traditions, it's seen as a fundamental property of the universe, a unifying principle that appears as the almost infinite variety of forms that make up the universe. Awakening is autonomous, existing before there were humans or anything else to experience it. Nagarjuna expressed it this way: when Buddhas don't appear and their followers are gone, the wisdom of awakening bursts forth by itself. So our freedom isn't from the world, it's in the world. She also talks about this term, there's enlightenment on one hand and endarkenment on another hand. I've never heard of endarkenment. Right, so awakening is a marriage of wisdom and compassion. And both wisdom and compassion are made up of enlightening and endarkening. The enlightening aspect of wisdom is growing clarity of insight that puts doubts to rest and creates confidence. It's about what we come to understand. The endarkening aspect of wisdom is our profound acceptance of the great mystery at the heart of things, which we can never understand in our ordinary ways, but can come to rest in. This is about knowing what we can't know, and sometimes called not knowing mind. That's the first tenet of being a Zen peacemaker. It's practicing not knowing. Letting go of our concepts and ideas. And we've got tons of them. We don't even know we have them. So sometimes it's hard to let go of when you don't even know you have them, right? So it's good to practice humility, always good. The enlightening aspect of compassion includes our shining commitment to everyone's freedom from suffering. That's our vow, to free all creations from suffering. The endarkening aspect of compassion is our willingness to have our hearts broken by the world. So our hearts remain open and not defensive. That's a hard one. I'll say that again. The endarkening aspect of compassion is our willingness to have our hearts broken by the world, so our hearts remain open and not defensive. It's like, what? What is she talking about here? Willing to have our hearts broken? Oh no. That's how I think anyway. That's what's going on in my mind. I don't know about you, but we can discuss this later. As we endarken, we see that we are not only continuous with the luminous nature of the universe, but also continuous with the great broken heart of the world. We and the world share a tenderness that is both poignant, beauty, and wound. It's as though revelation happens at the speed of electrical impulses in the brain, while embodiment happens at the speed of the heart, which is a slow beating muscle. So I wanted to also talk about embodiment today, because, you know, I talked last time about balance, right? We need to balance body, mind, spirit, or heart, right? So sesshin is wonderful for working with our minds, right? Balancing out the mind. So how do we balance, or how do we take care of the body, the physical body? Because we need our bodies to live, basically. So how do we take care of that? I mean, you could say, yeah, you got to take care of your physical body, but how? Well, yes, we know about food, good food. We know about exercise. We got to move our bodies. Yes, we have to do that. And what else? So when the virus hit in March, I am a dance, a hula instructor, so I'm very much, or I try to be very connected to my body, because I need my body to dance. I need my body to teach people how to dance. So one of the things I do is I get regular massages once a month because I know that my muscles, you know, if you use them a lot, they produce lactic acid. And if you don't get rid of the lactic acid, like runners or whatever, you know, it builds up and there can be pain. So it's good to massage to let the lactic acid crystals or whatever break up and get reabsorbed by the body and excreted. So I noticed that when I get massages right after a massage, I can dance better. And I love that Roshi is really involved or getting very interested in Taoism, because the Taoists were great observers. In science, you know, you have to be a good observationist with the experiments you do. So they were amazing in how they observed the universe, the elements, the stars, the wind, the weather. And they were also good about observing their bodies. So I wanted to, if you will indulge me for a little while, I wanted to do these. I found on YouTube some Qigong, and Qigong is Taoist. Let's see here, Qigong. Let me get the definition. So Qigong can be described as a mind-body-spirit practice that improves one's mental and physical health by integrating posture, movement, breathing, technique, self-massage, and focused intent. So there are thousands of styles of Qigong, right? Lineages, traditions. Qi means subtle breath or vital energy. Gong means skill, cultivated through steady practice. So I found these set of exercises that take about 12 minutes to do. It's a face and neck massage. So I'm going to share my screen so we can watch it and I can share with you this. And I would like each of you to participate and follow along, all right? And I will read what it says, and it's this wonderful woman, an older woman, and I shared it with some of you. Okay, here we go. Qigong, self-massage, head and face, all right? So we'll just follow along here and you check it out. This is what, first you're gonna warm your hands. Just rub them together about 32 times. This is warming your hands. Okay. Comb your hair, all right? So just, you're gonna do this 32 times from the front hairline to the nape of your neck. And it can be from any part of your hairline. And it activates energy channels and pressure points in the head, used to improve mental clarity, memory, and concentration. So you're doing this 32 times. Keep count. Starting at different points along the front hairline. Your entire scalp, combing motions. Fingers gently curved like claws. Press fingertips firmly onto your scalp. And then rest of it. Just kind of feel that. All right, knocking on wood. You're just with your curved fingers gently knocking on your scalp, randomly places 32 times. It activates energy channels, relieves stress, fatigue, just like a hammering motion, 32 times. All right, you're gonna massage the lower back of your neck. So you wanna start from, by your back of your ear and go toward the center of your head. And you're gonna do this horizontally 3 times. 32 times, sorry. Press firmly, starting just behind the ears, massage the lower center back of the head. And this stimulates 5 pressure points. Now you're going to massage the ropey muscles of your head, the back of your head, using all your fingers in a circular motion. 32 circles. Used to relieve arthritis pain, headache, dizziness, stiff neck. And then just rest and kind of feel that, the sensations there. Okay, next will be pressing on the eyebrows. The middle finger is right above the center of the eye, index and ring fingers on the inner and outer point of your eyebrows, massaging inward and upward firmly on your eyebrows. 32 times. And used to relieve headache, hay fever, painful eyes, foggy vision. And just rest and breathe. Now the eye sockets, this is interesting. Massaging horizontally above and below your eyes with your middle finger and 4th finger. 32 times, gentle pressure. Intended to tighten your eye muscles and improve the vision and stimulate blood and chi flow in the eyes. Trace the diamond, okay? You're gonna just look in all the corners, going around 8 times one way. And then going the other way, 8 times, each direction. Used to keep the eye muscles fit and tight. May extend the range of vision and help preserve peripheral vision. Okay, just rest there. Next is we're going to massage the ear base between your index and the 3rd finger. Sliding up and down, close to the front and back of your ears. 32 times. Activates the pressure points associated with hearing. May relieve earache, pain, or soreness. May help balance the thyroid and relieve facial tension, jaw problems, and sore throat. Okay, just feel that. Okay, pull and knead outer ears. So that's the positions. first position, second, and third, your ears. So you're going to start with number 1, the first high section, massage by pulling gently outwards 4 times, then continue down to the next section, and then the third section 4 times, and then the earlobes, and that stimulates your blood chi. Then around the ears 32 times. This is the ear reflexology point. Stimulate your entire body. So 32 times, just massaging the ear. And this could reduce shoulder, back pains, some joint pain from arthritis. Pressurize the ear canals. So the index fingers rotate back and forth 8 times, and then for 1 count, press into the ear canal and to pressurize it, and then release. So you're doing this 4 times, 8 rotations, 1 pressurize, and out. Used to relieve pressure in the ears and prevent hearing loss. This has definitely helped my hearing, and I've been doing it since March, pretty much every day. Next, this is beating the heavenly drum. So your palms are on your ears, your elbows are kind of close to each other, and then you're doing this drum with the index on the middle finger and drumming against your skull there. Doing that 32 times. Making a hammer. Snapping the fingers. It activates acoustic membranes and auditory nerves. May help maintain and improve hearing, may help wake you up. All right, now this massage, we're almost done on both sides of the nose, using your middle finger, going from the bottom of your nose and up 32 times. Intended to boost immune system and calm the spirit. Help relieve irritability, glandular imbalance, depression, and confusion. May help with that. And used to prevent hay fever and sinus problems. It has definitely helped my hay fever. Massage middle of a person, right under the nose, back and forth. 32 times. And this is used to improve memory and concentration. May help relieve dizziness, hay fever, cramps, spasms, and pain. Also used to help clear the brain. Then massaging the face. Sliding the hands from the forehead to below the chin. Believes that chi flows from the top of the body to the bottom. used to activate several points on the face. It may improve facial circulation and luster of the skin. May relieve sinus pain, headaches, and dry eyes. Also may help relieve facial paralysis and swelling. And then now for the neck. Improve circulation to the neck, may balance thyroid gland. Also used to increase luster of the skin on the neck. And then just relaxing by massaging the back of the neck, just 4 times. Slides with the right hand and then the left. And that is it. Okay, do you feel a little more alert? How do you feel? Is that okay? Yeah, I have been practicing this for pretty much every night since March. And I know right before this, I used to say what a lot. You know, when people were talking, I would say, what? 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 Anyway, that has decreased for me. So one benefit I have seen. So that's one way, I think, of keeping the physical body, you know, because there are a lot of acupressure points in the ears, keeping our bodies healthy and strengthening the immune system, which is what we need now. I wanted to also briefly say that I was really fortunate to be able to go to a writing workshop with Natalie Goldberg. It was a couple weeks ago, I think, or maybe it was just last week. And she did it online. It was a benefit for Upaya Zen Center. It was $100. We started early, like here, our time, 8 o'clock till 10 p.m., 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And I was able to get a scholarship. She had scholarships available for people of color, which is wonderful. But she raised a good $30,000 for Upaya with this day. And what I loved about the workshop was it was called Sit, Walk, Right. So she is a longtime practitioner. She went to the Minnesota Zen Center with Katagiri Roshi. And she has really integrated Zen practice into her writing practice. She feels that writing is another way to wake up. And I'm going to share with you her rules for writing practice. Okay, so number 1, keep your hand moving. All right, which means once it gets down for 10 minutes, you know, keep writing. And no, don't cross out anything, because that activates the editor, you know, the critic, the inner critic. So just keep writing no matter what. And she said, you are free to write the worst shit in the world, basically, all right? So yeah, all right, those are the rules. And it's like you keep practicing you show up, you get your hand on the page and you write. So I have been doing that, and it has been really wonderful. I started at 10 minutes, and now it varies, but I'm up to 20 minutes. And I write when I first get up, or sometimes I write after breakfast, but I write. I really want to do this practice. And she said, this is a way also to study your mind. What is going on there without judgment. You're just letting whatever flow. For example, the practice of immediacy that we do in our sesshin, you're not creating art. You're not creating a masterpiece writing. You are just sitting down and you are trying to bear witness to what is up for you. And so that's just, writing, drawing, whatever. And for me, I have to say, I don't always practice that during the practice of immediacy because I like to use the opportunity of sesshin to actually be creative, like in writing, or in hula, in dance, in choreography, because things have fallen away that are not important, that kind of keep me stuck, right, during sessions. So, it's, I'm not following the rules there on practice of immediacy. And I remember what Nicolai Roshi said in her talk on Sunday Morning Zen. When she was young, she asked herself the question, what is the purpose of a human being? And it took a few years, she said, but one day the answer just came. Include everything. Include everything. And so when we know we're limiting our abilities to show up, when we know what we're supposed to, or how an end product is supposed to look, I think we're really not awakening to the moment as it is, whatever's there. It's a radical acceptance of who you are, who I am. And that to me is love. And isn't that what it's about, really? Okay, so that's my presentation. Are there any questions or discussion? Just unmute yourself and we can talk together.
Yeah, Roshi. Sorry, Sensei. Roshi is right in the center of my screen. Sorry. Oh my gosh, you spoke to me today. Oh my gosh, thank you. I want to say a comment about breaking your heart open. I do a lot of Tongan practice. And in Tongan practice, one of the things you do is you break your heart open. You allow your heart to crack wide open to allow the suffering of another person in. And that meant that meant so much to me that you said that, because so often I struggle to find that compassion and that empathy, and I return to Tonglen and try to break my heart open and be wide open. And I think you used that word open so many times today, and it's so meaningful. And thank you so much.
Yeah, that's the practice, you know. It's not so easy, and we fall short, and then we keep trying again, and it's kind of like when you do the practice, it's like finally you stop trying, and then there it is, open right up. Do not try, be. I think that's a variation on Yoda's thing. All right.
Sensei, I just wanted to say today's talk seemed to be perfect for me, directly to me. I thank you so much for sharing. And the Qigong was just fantastic. I carry a lot of tension in my face and head and neck and ears. And I really think that's a practice I'll do. And I hope that you can share that video with all of us, because I'm probably not the only one who will do it again.
Right. So I'll put that, I'll put that, the link in the chat box right now.
So thank you, Sensei. I actually enjoyed the Qigong, though I've been resisting doing it since you've always asking me to do it, and I don't. But I enjoyed doing it today, and since I've been studying Chinese medicine, I'm much more open to it now. And I know when Maizumi Roshi was towards the end of his life, he gave quite a few talks on Qigong. And he believed that for meditators, if we did the breathing Qigong, which I don't know how to do, but there's a specific way they do breathing, that it would help us in our meditation practice as well. So thank you for sharing the Qigong, and I'm happy I finally did it.
Yeah, so everything's connected. So I feel like through these set of exercises, you're just kind of stimulating your general well-being through different, what do they call it, meridians and pressure points. And so when your well-being is generally stronger, your breath is stronger. I mean, they kind of all go together, So when we're on the cushion, we're practicing breathing also. So it just all works together for me. So this is Natalie's book, The True Secret of Writing. Oh yeah, and I was going to share a poem with you too from this wonderful book, The First Free Women, Poems of Early Buddhist Nuns, right? This is from the time of the Buddha. This one, Subha, the goldsmith's daughter. They all told me the same thing. There's only one way to be truly safe. Get as much as you can and hold on tight. We don't take greed seriously enough. I grew up in a house made of gold, so I ought to know. You see what it does to people slowly over time. It changes them, it takes over. You find yourself saying, I'll learn to be generous, I'll give it all away. But first, I just need a little bit more. Stop lying to yourself. See a clenched fist for what it is. Not tomorrow, not in 20 years. Now. I am Subha, the goldsmith's daughter, eating whatever is offered, sleeping wherever I can. This is what freedom looks like, not a bucket of coins buried out back. Just like you, I spent a long time going back and forth. But eventually I had to stand up and say it out loud. I will not be owned. And it seems to me, you know, to relate it to what I've been talking about, in a sense, when we practice not knowing, we're kind of letting go of being owned in a sense, right? We're kind of letting go of things that may not be so useful for us. I mean, this is also about, you know, letting go of things too, but, you know, it seems like ideas are things that we can let go of. And I'm wearing this lei. Can you see this? This is a candle nut lei, also known in Hawaiian as kukui nut, and it's in different stages. Like, this is just from the tree, it's not polished or anything. And then you polish it, and it looks like sometimes they're brown. So it's in, and this has got rich oil. They used to use this for lamps in Hawaii, and so it is also, it symbolizes enlightenment, right, for Hawaiians. So this is different stages of enlightenment right here. And I wear it with a lot of love. Well, unless there are any more comments, or we will adjourn for lunch. Lunch and a rest period. Right. Go for a walk. It looks like another beautiful day out. Be on the earth. Yeah, I'm really trying to get out there, even though it's cold, because I want to enjoy everything. You know, I'm kind of spoiled still, you know, being raised in Hawaii. But this is beautiful too, you know, in its own way. So